Hey there and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to cover a very interesting question, answer to the question, which a lot of people ask me. And honestly, back in the days when I also started in marketing, I also wanted to find a very simple answer to that question, which is what is growth marketing, right? Growth marketing, I'm sure even if you're not part of the marketing world, you must have come across this word, this phrase or word once in a while browsing on the internet. If not growth marketing, you must have saw growth hacker or growth hacking written somewhere. They are sort of similar, but the correct terminology is growth marketing, in my opinion, because of my personal experience. I'm saying, so you must have definitely heard about this term, but if even if you might have heard about this term and tried researching it online, there are a bunch of information which is quite confusing, which does not clearly state what exactly is growth marketing, who is a growth marketer, and how can you become one, right? If you're interested in becoming one. And that's what we're going to cover in this video today. We're going to cover three questions, answer to these three questions. The first is, of course, what is growth marketing? Number two, who is a growth marketer? And number three, how can you become a growth marketer, right? And the reason I think I am worthy enough to create this video is because I am working as a growth marketer myself in a B2B SaaS company. So I think my explanation from my experience might come a bit handy to you guys, because I will try simplifying it as much as possible. And if you guys been following me, then you know that I don't write my scripts or videos. I just open the camera, start talking about a certain topic based on my experience and the knowledge which I have stored in my mind. Of course, I do plan out the questions and the topic that I want to cover in the video, but apart from that, the rest is unscripted. That's why I call it Marketing Uncensored. Milan Shakura, that's what this all channel is about. So if you have not subscribed it yet, just click on the subscription so that it becomes easy for you to see my next video. Awesome. So let's get started with the first question. That is, what is growth marketing? Now, in order to answer this question, let's first look at the word or the phrase, sorry. A phrase is, basically a word made up of two things. So growth marketing is the phrase is created out of two words, that is growth and marketing, right? Now the words are not going to appear because I'm not going to edit and put something here. I'm too lazy in editing, sorry guys. Maybe one day I might hire someone and do it, but just imagine that the word growth marketing is written here in between my fingers. And let's say for a few seconds we remove the word growth from the phrase, from growth marketing, and put it aside, and now you will only see marketing in on your mind. Just think of this, that the marketing is written here right now, and we're going to focus on that. Now, what exactly does come in your mind when you look at the word marketing? Like, for example, in my mind, it comes like, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, uh, newspaper ads, stuff like any sort of marketing that there is gets covered under here, because marketing is a parent category. It's like the main category under which multiple subcategories of marketing can fit together, ranging from online to offline marketing and stuff like that. So that's what marketing is, right? But in order to understand the real meaning, we need to answer the question that why does a company do marketing, right? They do marketing to increase something in the organization. Now, it can be increasing sales in the organization, or it can be increasing their brand awareness, or it can be increasing their customer retention or recurring customers in the organization. So in simple words, marketing is nothing but activities done by the company to increase something in the organization. Now, whether that increase becomes positive or negative, that depends upon them, but that's what the marketing is, increasing something in the organization, right? Now, let's put the marketing aside and let's bring back the word growth. Now, just imagine that the word growth is written here, right? Just imagine. And I want you guys to take a pause and think for a moment what exactly comes in your mind when you look at the word or read the word growth uh, anywhere, right? So just pause this video for a few seconds. Let me know in the comments what is the first thought that comes in your mind when you look at the word growth. And then I will tell you my mindset, what comes in my mind when I look at the word growth. Well, I hope you might have paused it and added your comments, but in case you haven't, well, can't force you guys, can I? So when I look at the term growth, the first thing that comes in my mind is basically upward. Upward, positive impact, increasing upward, and stuff like that. Anything going upward, like the graph going upward, That basically what growth is for me, right? So growth is basically means something going upward or something going in the positive direction, right? Now let's bring back the words together, growth marketing. So now the real meaning of growth marketing is, if we look at the definitions which I told for growth and marketing, that is, growth marketing is nothing but activities performed to increase the demand generation of a product or service, right? That what exactly growth marketing means in very simple words. Growth marketing means increasing the demand of a particular product or service in the market for an organization, right? Or maybe for your own product or service or for a company you're working for, but that's what it means. Increasing the demand of a product or service. That's what growth is all about, because you are trying to improve the awareness, you're trying to improve the uh, customers for a particular product or service in the market, and that's what is equivalent to growth, because growth basically means bringing in more customers and indirectly bringing in more sales and revenue for the organization. So that's what growth marketing means. Nothing complexer than nothing, apart from this is the most simplistic and the most direct definition of growth marketing. Now, a lot of people have their own definitions created. A growth marketer also takes care of this, a growth marketer also takes care of that, and yada, yada, yada. But just imagine, guys, growth marketing is just one professional title, right? I The only reason I call myself growth marketer is because my company has given me that title. Let's say if I am the person working in the product department, right? I am the person responsible for product management. There's also roles called growth product manager or product head of product growth and stuff like that. So there are a bunch of different words where the word growth comes into the picture, but they all have their different meanings. A lot of people, confuses that, oh, a growth marketer has to take care of everything within the organization, starting from product management to XYZ to demand generation and even sales. But that is not the reality. These are just some bunch of words created on the internet, which you don't have to focus on. So in simple words, if you heard the word growth marketing, it basically means increasing the demand of a product or service. That's it. That's what the word means, and that's what your job role is. Correct? Now, let's come to the next question. Who is a growth marketer, right? Now we know that growth marketing basically means increasing the demand of a product or service. Now, that automatically answers our question that who is a growth marketer? A growth marketer is a person who helps the company to achieve certain uh, revenue targets during a year. So let's say depending upon what stage the company is at in its uh, life cycle, whether it's a new company, whether it is a funded company, whether it is a pre-fund, like a funded company, like someone who has raised like Series C, Series D. The growth role changes depending upon the different life cycle of the company. But in simple words, a growth marketer is always uh, a growth marketer is basically someone who is responsible for increasing the demand of the product or service through various marketing channels, whether online or offline. That who is a growth marketer, right? Now, if you go online and you do a bunch of search around the topic growth marketer, you will find very similar information across the entire internet, which is, a growth marketer is someone who is a T-shaped marketer, like the letter T-shaped marketer. And this statement you're going to find in almost 99% of the articles, I think so, even on some YouTube videos that are around growth marketing. But when you read the definition, it is a bit confusing, because the statement says growth marketer is a T-shaped marketer. And when you look at the T-shaped marketing, you will see that, if I break this T line wise, so the first line, if you go on Google and search T-shaped marketing, in the first line you will see a bunch of different marketing categories such as paid marketing, organic marketing, referral marketing written here. And the next line, which is the straight line of the T, you will see specific channel based marketing, such as, if it's paid ads, so you will see Google ads, Facebook ads, or if it is email marketing, so you might see cold emailing, recurring emailing, checkout emailing, and stuff like that, bunch of stuff. So that's what the T shape indicates. Now, based on the information on the internet, people say that you have to be a T-shaped marketer to become a growth marketer, and people misinterpret it of saying that you need to have the knowledge and expertise of all the marketing categories that are out there in order to become a growth marketer. Now, take a pause and just think by yourself that how can one person be able to master all the categories of marketing? Like, marketing is vast, guys. Like, marketing is the parent category. Under parent category, there's like bunch of online marketing categories, bunch of offline marketing categories, and within online marketing and offline category in itself is like semi child categories in itself. So just think about it. How can you possibly master all the categories of marketing out there? Like, let's take an example. Let's go back in the past during your school days. In school you have these bunch of subjects that you have to study on a daily basis, so that by the end of the year you are able to clear the exam and move to the next class, right? Now, while you are studying all these subjects, can you 100%ly say that I am the master of all these subjects? I understand everything, and I can definitely challenge anyone saying that I am the masters of all these 5 to 6 7 subjects that we have: English, maths, yada yada yada. Can you? Right? No, you cannot. So how can you expect someone like a normal human being to actually say that, oh, you can master all the categories of marketing, you can be a specialist in all those categories, and that's why you have to be, that's how you become a growth marketer? That is completely bullshit. That is not humanly possible. Like, you know coming back to the school example, like after you graduate from school, you actually have to pick one topic to specialize in college so that you move further in life, right? It's not like uh, you are interested in chemistry, but in college you have to do a bunch of other stuffs around which are not related to science, I will say. Which there are additional subjects, but your main subject or main specialization is gonna be whatever that chemistry field there is, right? You're not gonna be you're not gonna be called a specialized in all the other subjects that you studied in the university, right? So that's what I'm saying. It is not possible or humanly possible for a human like me to actually specialize in all the marketing categories or marketing channels that are out there, right? So that's why the statement that a growth marketer is a T-shaped marketer needs to be clarified. And the real meaning of the statement is that as a growth marketer, you need to have a basic to intermediate understanding of all the categories of marketing. I'm not saying you need to be a specialist of all the categories. I'm saying you just need to be a person who understands what each category means and what are the different aspects related to each category on a theoretical and maybe a little bit of practical level, right? So that way, when you are actually creating the growth strategies for an organization to increase the demand, you can use your knowledge of these different uh, categories and realize that which category should I focus on this particular strategy. And then once the strategy is finalized, then you can go ahead and hire or use the specialist of that particular marketing channel or category to execute that particular thing. Because as a growth marketer, your number one responsibility is to increase the demand of the product or service, and increasing the demand of the product or service in today's era does not come from just one marketing channel. It has to be a multi-marketing channel approach. And a growth marketer's job is that at how he or she can synchronize all the marketing channels together to build a growth funnel, or build a growth strategy that can help the company to increase its demand, increase its sales, and increase its customers in the market and have a higher market share, right? So that's who a growth marketer is. Correct? Now, the $1 billion question, I will say, not even the $1 million, is that how can someone become a growth marketer, right? Because on the internet there are a lot of definitions about what is growth marketing and who is a growth marketer, but there's hardly not much information, or like very few information about how can you become a growth marketer, right? Because even when I started uh, in this marketing field and I started researching that, okay, growth marketing is something which is quite fascinating to me, I tried researching around and tried finding a bunch of articles or maybe courses where I can see that, okay, what growth marketing is, how can I become one, and stuff like that. But honestly, most of the information was irrelevant, and there is no degree or a college that can actually teach you how to be a growth marketer. And the reason behind that is because a growth marketer is someone who is like a scientist, right? A person who has the knowledge of marketing, at least 3 to 4 channels of marketing, whether it is email marketing, SEO, paid ads, and stuff like that, they are qualified to become a growth marketer. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of my own personal experience. I started my career in marketing as a paid ad specialist, and from there I kept on increasing my skills to different channels. After paid ads, I tried to master the art of art of email marketing, become a specialist in email marketing. And then the third is basically I try to master the art of SEO. Now I will not say like I'm like 100% top SEO specialist, but at least I have a lot of like I have a very decent knowledge of SEO. So these are the three channels where I try to specialize in during my marketing days. And that's what I also tell people, that if you want to become a growth marketer in a particular company, at least get specialization in three channels of marketing of your choice. It can be any channels, whether paid, whether SEO, whether content, whether referral marketing, stuff like that. Because once you are master in three channels, then it becomes easier for you to grasp the knowledge of other channels as well, because most of the channels are able to relate with each other in one way or the other when you actually try to strategize things, right? So once you master three channels, you actually become competent enough to lead a team. And a growth marketer is nothing but a manager who actually leads the team of specialists specialized in different marketing uh, marketing channels. I think I might have dropped off a bit, might get a bit confusing, but let me get back to the question, that is, how do you become a growth marketer? And in the simple words, you become a growth marketer by actually becoming a person who is specialized in at least 3 to 4 marketing channels, at least master those marketing channels, so that you can lead a team of those specialists and generate results for your organization. That's exactly how you become a growth marketer. There's no college, there's no degree that can teach you of becoming a growth marketer, because the job of the growth marketer is to actually lead a team and bring in results. It's not like the person has to execute things by himself, because if you have to execute by things yourself, it is not possible. Honestly, it is not. You need a team of specialists to be part of your marketing team in order to do things, because a growth marketer is on a daily basis is doing experimentation of different marketing channels, of different strategies, to find out one strategy and one channel that he or she believes in, that can scale the demand of the product and bring in more customers and revenue for the organization. And for that, when we talk about experimentation, you need team of at least 2 to 3 people to do that for you. If you're going to do it all alone, you're not going to be able to achieve anything in life. And I am saying this from my own personal experience, because just like anyone back in the days, I also used to call myself a growth hacker. I can hack your growth without actually understanding the meaning of that term. But uh, but as I become more mature in marketing, as I become more mature, from knowledge, I realized that how idiot I was by calling myself that. And honestly, as a growth marketer, is like a more like a marketing manager who leads a team of specialists who helps him or her to execute his or her growth strategy. So, how do you actually become growth marketer? It's a very simple words. You cannot become a growth marketer from day zero. You have to have at least an experience of 3 to 4 in marketing, like any field, and you need to have specialization in at least 3 channels of marketing. That is coming from my own personal experience, because once you have a specialty in 3 marketing channels, you are master of those channels, and you can create strategies easily on those things. Then understanding other marketing channels becomes easier. There's no direct proof that I can mention here right now. This is completely coming from my own years of working as a growth marketer, because when I started working as a growth marketer in 2020, uh, and people ask me to create the strategy to increase the demand of their product, I actually, when I started creating the strategy, I realized that, oh, I have like 80% of my strategy came from these 3 channels because I'm specialized in, and the rest 20% came from the other knowledge, because I was keen to research and find out more about those channels, because I thought they can go uh, hand in hand with the channels that I am specialized in. For example, if I talk about paid ads and email marketing, they can go sort of hand in hand together, because if I'm doing paid marketing and getting the leads and information of a contact, then I can try to boost or improve the awareness to that particular lead who gave me his information through email marketing and sending them relevant emails, right? So it doesn't matter when you do the actual growth strategy. I might create another video on creating growth strategies, but a growth strategy in very simple words in this video is, creating a marketing strategy where we bring in bunch of channels together which go into sync with each other, and helps in the achieving the final goal, that is the increasing the demand of the product or service in the market, right? So coming back to the final question, because I stretched that question so much, that is basically how you can become a growth marketer, and I've added a bunch of stuff which might get confusing. So let me quickly put that in simple words now. That is basically, if you want to become a growth marketer, one, you need to have at least 3 to 4 years of experience in marketing, and number two, you need to have speciality in at least 3 to 4 channels of marketing of your choice, whether paid ads, paid ads, email marketing, content marketing, and stuff like that. Have knowledge of, master. I will not say mastery, but speciality in 3 to 4 channels. Like at least you should have intermediate to advanced level knowledge in these particular marketing categories, so that in the future, when you try to share your resume to a company for the role of growth marketing, they can look at you and they can look at the resume and say that, okay, this person has a bit of a knowledge in different channels of marketing. That's what exactly gives you an upper edge than the other people who might have only specialty in one channel, and they definitely are not qualified for a growth role, right? I mean, just think of it. Growth marketing, the purpose of the of growth marketer is to increase the demand, right? Increase the demand of the product. And you can't just increase the demand by just running paid ads. You can't just increase the demand by doing content marketing or SEO. You have to have a multi-channel approach in today's world, or else you're not going to work. And let's say in your resume, when someone looks at it, oh, you have experience in email marketing, you have experience in running paid ads, you have experience even in referral marketing. The person says, okay, this guy has experience in multiple categories. The first impression that's going to come in the HR's mind is like, this person is comfortable in learning other marketing channels and not just sticking to one. So, I mean, it gives you an upper edge, right? If I am hiring a growth marketer, that's what I'm going to look for. Exactly. Let's say if I'm hiring someone for a specialist position, I'm just going to look for that specialty, whether that person has it or not. But if I'm looking for a growth marketer, I'm going to look for a generalist rather than a specialist of a particular thing, because a journalist is the person who's always open for new ideas and is always open for suggestions, rather than just sticking to his or her own beliefs, right? So that's exactly how you become a growth marketer. You need at least 3 to 4 experience in marketing, and you need to have at least speciality in 3 to 4 channels of marketing to be qualified to become a growth marketer. So in this video, I pretty much covered all the 3 questions which I mentioned in the most simplest way. That is, what is a growth marketer? Who is a growth marketer, and how can you become a growth marketer, right? Or how can you become a growth marketer in a company? So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think the bonus thing is basically here is that what is the difference between growth marketing and growth hacking, right? In reality, there is no clear difference, honestly, guys. I mean, growth hacking is just a fancy word used by people, even though there are a bunch of definitions out there which differentiate growth marketing and growth hacking. But in reality, the only definition which might come handy is that growth marketing is the process of increasing the demand of a particular product or service, and growth hacking is part of growth marketing, which basically growth hacking can be referred to the experimentation phases that we do in growth marketing, right? As a growth marketer, you need to do a bunch of experiment to find out that one tactic or that one channel that will help in achieving your goal. And that's exactly that process of experimentation is called growth hacking. You're trying to hack the growth of the organization by by doing multiple experiments and finding that one experiment that you can scale further and increase the demand of the product or service. But in reality, that is the only definition that I thought is worthy as is worth sharing as a differentiation. But in reality, growth marketing is a bigger field. Growth hacking is just part of it. You guys should just focus on growth marketing and just understand that growth marketing is nothing but increasing the demand of the product or service. And in order to increase the demand of the product or service, we do rapid experimentation through our strategies to find that one strategy or one experimentation that might help us achieve our targets. So that's it. The most simplest way of what is growth marketing and how can you become one, marketing uncensored, no scripted thing or stuff like that. I hope it helps. Any questions, put it down in the comments and I will reply. And cheers. See you in the next video.